And some senior living facilities trying to keep residents safe from the coronavirus pandemic now have something else to worry about: evacuations and the threat of wildfires.
Some in evacuation zones have been keeping a close eye on wildfire impacts and the poor air quality we're all dealing with. Melissa Bruce is the Vice President of Clinical Services with Avamere, a group with several senior living and rehabilitation facilities in our community. She joins us live this morning to talk about their efforts in these tough times. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, thanks for being with us. This is one that I don't know that we've talked about this too much yet, as we've talked about evacuations and everything involved with these fires. With all that we're seeing here in Oregon in particular, how has it been at your facilities?
It's been pretty crazy. So we actually have 3 communities in Clackamas County that actually this last week, towards the end of the week, reached level 2 evacuation, meaning for us in senior living, community-based care particularly, given that we have increased mobility needs in our vulnerable population, our elderly take a little bit longer to evacuate potentially. We evacuate at a level 2 evacuation, meaning we had 3 communities last week that we actually did fully evacuate. So that was quite a feat. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
So you're making that choice then to evacuate earlier than what the state is asking you to do, because if you had to evacuate last minute, that would be really tough for some of these people.
Yeah, it would be really tough, really time consuming. So we make that choice, and actually DHS, the state, they actually mandate that as well,
Oh,
early evacuation for us due to those
yeah.
increased mobility needs.
It does
Yeah.
seem smart. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely. As far, we've been talking so much about the air quality. How has that gone as far as keeping those seniors safe while, the smoke is happening? Because it is seeping into buildings as well.
It is. So we definitely take every precautionary measure possible: masking, using ServPro, outside contractors, things like that, to keep indoor air quality the best that we can. We keep our residents indoors, keeping indoor activities, keeping residents engaged indoors, psychosocial needs met, those types of things. So yeah, just taking every precautionary measure that we can with the poor air quality, to keep our residents as safe as possible. So a difficult challenge during this time, but we are definitely doing the best that we can. And we have a great team, great staff, the best of the best working at that, to meet that challenge. And we're doing a great job all around.
Yeah, so I'm curious. So the seniors that did have to evacuate in those level 2 evacuations, how did all of that go? And have they been allowed to return back to their community yet?
So thankfully, we are back down in Clackamas County in those areas to a level 1. So we're working on getting them home this week, actually. We had one of our buildings return home yesterday afternoon. We have one more that we will return home this afternoon, and then one more that we will return home tomorrow afternoon. Additionally, it was quite a challenge. We had school buses. It was kind of all hands on deck. We had things like people donating mattresses, residents evacuating on school buses, building beds out of pallets to get our residents up off of the floor, so that we could transfer them and meet their mobility needs.
Mm.
We had our division presidents moving bed frames and buying toiletries. We had staff who had evacuated from the fires themselves, traveling to communities to meet staffing needs, and we had staff being put up in hotels and evacuated. It was just one of the greatest team efforts that I've ever seen, and it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, well, and all of this happening during a pandemic. So
Yeah.
how has that impacted all of this, while you have to try to maintain that social distancing and keeping everyone safe from coronavirus?
Yeah, who expects to be putting out literal wildfires in the middle of a pandemic? So yeah, we definitely have to take extra precautionary measures, PPE, disinfecting, sanitizing in the middle of all of this evacuation stuff. But we are a very transparent company. We have great infection control practices. We have been very diligent throughout the entire pandemic to make sure that we communicate with all of our residents, family members, stakeholders. So it was pretty seamless actually during the evacuation to make sure that we maintained those infection control practices, kept our residents safe.
Well, that's some good news. Melissa, we're almost out of time, but real quick, I wanted to mention, you talked about these evacuations and everything, being an all hands on deck situation. And this year, I know you're actually looking to add more staff.
Yes, we are always looking for great staff, new team members to bring on to our team. All of our job listings are always at avamere.com, always looking for great staff. So please check out our website, avamere.com, if you're interested in joining our team.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
Melissa, thank you for all of your efforts to keep our seniors safe, and families here in this community certainly appreciate that. And if you're interested in applying for a job at Avamere, we're going to put that link and more information at KOIN.com. Thank you so much and stay
Yes,
safe.
thank you so much for having me on. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.